Well, I just want to welcome everybody to our theme Thursday. Thanks for joining in. As Lynn said earlier, this should be a very informative one about IAPS. And today is October 26th, 23. So got to get that in there for the recording. I don't know where do you want to start with this, Lynn? You want to just start with personal experience, or do you want to tell them about the what you were just telling us about the three-tiered thing?
I think it'd be good if we start with what is IAPS. First of all, it's the International Association of Pastel Societies, and they have a biennial convention, which means every 2 years. Now with COVID, we had to wait 3 years, but it used to be on the odd year, but because of COVID, now we're on the even years. So it's every other year. And I think we should talk about what it is, and people who've been can maybe share. And then after that, we can talk about how to register for this upcoming convention, which is in June of 2024. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's share. So anybody who's been to the convention before, I would love to hear your thoughts about what it was like and why you felt it was important. Linda?
Well, I had hoped to go to the IAPS convention before COVID. And then, of course, I get a dream job that I couldn't turn down. I got to work on Picard. So having been a Star Trek fan, and if you look at the pictures from our group, which won the award for the best costumes, I wore a Star Trek outfit. So what can I say? It was just everyone around was so happy to be there, for one thing. And everyone loves pastels. So you're everywhere, every place you turn, there are workshops, there's seminars. So if you don't want to paint, you could listen to someone describe their techniques or something like that. And I met a lot of I met Karen Margolis, didn't know who she was. I had a great time with her, and then found out like she's some big deal. Like, cool. you know, and everyone was kind of like, it's like a family for that time. Of course, the family that gave everyone COVID, but out of our group, out of 35, 13 of us got COVID from that weekend. But I recommend, if you, first of all, if you haven't been to Albuquerque and New Mexico, it's beautiful. You can go up to Santa Fe. But the thing that I think is cool is you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. You don't necessarily, I maybe don't recommend jam packing have a morning session, afternoon session, morning session, get some time to enjoy it. But there was so many, when you look at who's teaching or who's doing a seminar, there's so many different styles. You can look at someone who's doing something you're not used to doing. Get some excitement about something. And of course, who can forget the candy store? The candy store is a lot of suppliers who sell pastel supplies, from paper to supplies to pencils to whatever, has a big, like, they have a store that's been called the candy store, and there's discounts and deals going. Yeah. And you don't think you're gonna say, oh, whatever, and I spent $700 on stuff.
You can,
yeah, it was easy to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other nice thing with the store is they'll ship the stuff back to you. Do you remember?
So you don't have to just carry it on the
like
I did have who was it drove it back for me, and I went to her house.
It was Carolyn, wasn't it?
It was Carolyn. Carolyn
Romer
had driven to Albuquerque, and she offered to let me put my stuff in her car, and then I went to Pasadena and picked it up from her house. But it was just really a lovely, and to see the artwork and to walk around the art show with McKinley describing the paintings. It was amazing. So anyway, if you can make it, I recommend you do it. So that's me.
Thank you. So one of the things that have not been before, might not realize, is
Our workshops, demos.
they call it the big.
The old guy.
Somebody's.
I think Lynn's trying to talk. If you guys could mute.
Yeah, mute if you're not talking.
So they call it the biggest pastel party on the planet. And Richard McKinley, who's the president of IAPS, coined that. But basically, all at the same time, you've got going on workshops, demos, a gallery of the finest pastel work internationally, because you can all enter this show. And if you're lucky enough to get in, then you get to see the show in person while you're there, with gallery talks about the work. There's people going out to paint. There's social activities. There's a Wednesday night, usually a speaker. There's Thursday night, they have a paint around. They have where somebody starts a painting and then the other artists continue on. They get some of the top pastel artists and then they auction those pieces off. Friday night is the fiesta, where all the societies set up a booth and they get in costume. We were Hollywood. We dressed up like Hollywood last time. And like you said, we won first place for our costumes. And then Saturday night is the banquet, where they recognize the Master Circle winners and have a speaker. And so there's just so much going on. It goes on from Tuesday through Sunday. Who else wants to share their experiences there?
I can talk. I've been twice. The first time I went, which was not this past one, but the one before it. And I've driven both times. And the first time I went, I took a lot of workshops, a fair amount of workshops and demos. And the difference between a workshop and a demo is a workshop is we have a workshop here. You have the instructor and you bring your materials and they teach you their techniques. And I think it's 3 hours for workshops. Is that right? Yeah. And demos are like an hour and a half, I think. And an artist demonstrates how they paint and whatnot, and you just stand and watch it. The workshops, you're actually painting and follow along with the instructor. Anyway, so I took a fair amount of those because I was more new to it at the time, and I needed all that. And I really learned a lot. Like Linda said, I met a lot of people that I read about in magazines for a couple of years, and you think they're rock stars, and then you meet them, and they're like just normal people, but they're very giving, they're very willing to share themselves and their knowledge with you. That's what's so cool. I did have a great time at the Friday night thing. Besides the society setup, but they also have a band, and dancing, and I love to dance, and I had all kinds of fun doing that.
Caroline sang too, didn't she?
The what?
Carolyn sang.
Yes, she sang while the band was playing. That's right. And that's probably the night I got COVID, probably. But anyway,
Typical experience, just so you guys know. That's yeah.
But like Lynn said, when it ended, my girlfriend flew back there and met me, and we went to Taos and Santa Fe and had a blast.
Nice.
Those cities, they're great places to visit, so that was a big part of the thing for me, too, just being back there and driving back there. God, you see all kinds of great scenery. You want to just stop and start painting, it's just awesome.
Definitely.
The second time I went, I drove again, and I was kind of the mule again. I carried people. One of the reasons I drove and took all those workshops is I had to take all my stuff with me, and it's hard to get all that on an airplane. You can do it, but you got to be real selective. Anyway, so I carried my stuff and a couple of other people's and back, and people that were buying stuff were throwing it in my truck, and I was charging $50 a pound. No, just kidding. But the second time I went, I drove, and I got there right at the beginning because I volunteered a lot at that second trip. I worked the video camera for a couple of different demos. One was Albert Handel. And the thing about that is you get in the demo for free. You don't have to pay for it if you volunteer, see? So keep that in mind, you guys. And the other thing I did when I got there early is I helped hang the show. And that was really interesting and fun. And I got to see all the paintings up close and personal before anybody else did, and I got to meet a few people, and you know, it's like anything else. The more you give, the more you get, you know. So if you're thinking about volunteering, be sure to go for it because it pays off. I mean, it's a great experience. Oh, and we go out to dinner Thursday night. Lynn organizes a big dinner for everybody at the local restaurant across the street. And we go there and party down, man. So that's cool. Yeah. Oh, and then toward the end, we decided to go to the flamingo dance show in the hotel there. And before we got there, Lynn had lost her ring, her stone out of her ring, see. And she realized until we're sitting in there watching the flamingos, all of a sudden she goes, "Oh my God," you know, and she looked there, my ring's missing. So we all disrupted the entire flamingo dance by crawling around on the floor underneath the table, making a huge mess of the whole thing.
These are your loyal PSSC members. They have your back. I'm telling you, they'll.
And I went back to the room and ended up finding it on the floor. So she had been up there with Kath a little earlier getting something. And so anyway, so it all's well and ended well with that. But I'll never forget that. Oh, and then running back to tell you I found it, I tripped on the stairs and almost killed myself. I got all skinned up. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh, one other thing that I really enjoyed is they put together a booklet of all the winners for the art show. And all the artists on the, under the balcony, not the balcony, outside the hotel, right in the courtyard, were table after table of all the different artists, and they signed everybody's books.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Artists are famous, right? Because they're the rock stars of Pastel.
Yeah.
Dell and Sally Strand and Richard McKinley and all the bigwigs in the field.
So that was kind of a cool thing. That was also cool.
Yeah, and one other thing too, there's a little area right near the hotel. It's called Old Town. And if you want to get away from the hotel for a little while, you can go down there and there's amazing restaurants and stuff down there and shops. It's really cool. It's great food and just awesome. Yeah. So there's all kinds of things to do.
All right, who else? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll go along with what Chris said. I volunteered at the registration desk. And you know me, I can't shut up. So I was just having a ball. People coming to get their paperwork and all their stuff. And that was just so much fun. I mean, for me, I love doing that. So, if you volunteer, if you're a good technical and can get into the seminars for free by recording them, that's even, that's fabulous. But there was just other ways to just do stuff. It was cool.
Like 80 to 100 societies coming from all over the world. So when you work at the registration desk, you meet people from everywhere: Australia, France, Russia, Ukraine. It was really exciting. I worked at the registration desk as well, and in the gallery. I was also a docent. So there's a lot to do. But if you're new at it, maybe you don't want to volunteer right away. If this is your first time, maybe you just want to go and do workshops and experience.
A lot of workshops and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, who else wants to share? I know Jolene and Randy have been there. Lupe. Anybody else want to jump in? What did you love about IAPS?
Oh, we had a blast. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jolene.
Oh yeah, Randy and I went, we drove out there, and like you were saying, Chris, that drive is just gorgeous. And we took so many photos, and I have so many reference photos for the beautiful, the clouds. Yeah, New Mexico with the blue skies and the clouds, puffy white clouds are amazing. And we also like to go birding. And you're just like 2 or 3 miles away from the Rio Grande, and the birding there in June was really, really wonderful. And we took a bird walk, and so we mix it up between we did 3 demos, which I found to be perfect. 1 demo a day with some of the famous artists that, you just pick up some new pointers from them. And we chose a younger artist too, Andrew McDermott. I like his style. It's very loose. And it's just fun to see how they do the same kind of subject matter.
And while we were birding, we saw some pastel artists down there doing some plein air work at the river.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And one of them was in the show, the IAPS show. She was one of the artists. And it's just so neat to get out there and see other people doing the same thing and enjoying it. And of course, the food's all wonderful. And we stayed at the Hotel Chaco. We kind of preferred that.
Yeah, that was really nice. The Chaco.
Mhm.
I just read an article in New Mexico Magazine that I subscribed to after going back there. And there was an article about birding in there, and that's a
Oh.
major birding place right there where you guys are talking about. That's big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, if you bring your binoculars and you go take a couple hours and just
Where was that
wander.
little town?
There was also a docent giving birding walks. We just looked it up and found it. Oh, and we discovered on the way to Santa Fe, there's this town on the Turquoise Trail called
Oh, yeah.
Madrid.
Yeah.
That's how they pronounce it, Madrid, not Madrid.
Yeah.
But it's the cutest little artsy, funky town. There's a couple places to eat. There's art galleries. And if you blink, you'd miss it. It's so small, but it's so cool.
It's
It was in that movie. What was that called with John
Uh,
Travolta with the motorcycles? Wild Hogs. or
Wild
something?
Wild hogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was featured in that movie.
it's on the back road to Santa Fe. It's like you
Yeah.
have to take the back road to Santa Fe, and I guess they said there's like 250 residents there, and more than half of them are artists. I think it's really an little art town.
Be sure to get one of those chili cheeseburgers while you're back there too.
Oh yeah, I love those Ortega chilies.
So Jolene, I remember you guys coming as Thelma and Louise at
Oh yeah, I came with Tasha. The first one I went to 2019 or 20.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It's 19.
19. Yeah, and then Randy and I, since our society was dressed as Hollywood, well, Hollywood isn't complete without tourists. So we dressed as tourists, which was super easy. I just got my Mickey Mouse ears and some silly clothing.
Some zinc oxide.
It is such a fun night, the Friday night fiesta, because every society tries to represent their region. So like, Florida, well, they had palm trees.
Yeah,
We had palm trees one year and we decided the thing that we have that unique is Hollywood because we're in Southern.
definitely.
The
Yeah,
first time I was a pirate, and the second time I was a bellhop.
Oh yeah, that bellhop costume was really awesome.
And Mark, you're in
Yeah,
a
it was good.
photos for IAPS because you came as
Who are you talking to?
Oh, Marty.
you came as
My first year?
last time.
Oh, last time I was Grace Kelly from Rear Window.
And you're in so many of the IAPS photos. I was looking at them online. They have you, and then the
First time.
Monroe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
first time I was
Oh.
Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, I'm into Hollywood.
You fit that bill to the T, man. You really dressed up perfect for that.
Yeah, I've only been twice, but I, like you, I filled up my days with lots and lots of whatever I could fit in, the workshops and whatever. I wanted to get my money's worth, so I was busy the whole time, but I really felt like I got a lot out of it. And it wasn't just workshops and demos. There was also seminars. Liz Haywood Sullivan had one about the business of being an artist and marketing and stuff like that. So there's always a lot of other things too, really interesting things to learn.
Yeah. I attended one on the light fastness of Pastel, where this museum specialist came in and talked about in museums how the foot candles can, if it's too bright, it can damage artwork. So when you first enter a museum, it's brighter and they have the less valuable artwork there. But as you go deeper into the museum, the foot candles of light go down lower, and then you have the most valuable pieces because your eyes start to adjust. But they the light fastness of Pastel and how certain colors hold the color better. than others, and it was scientific. It was fascinating. So you're right. There's so many good seminars. I've gone to 8 conventions so far since 2007. And the reason we founded this Pastel Society of Southern California is because Margaret and Bonnie and I went to the 2007 convention and said, well, we don't have a Pastel Society in Southern California, and we don't want to pay the premium rate. If we found a society, then we can get in for the society discount. If you're a member of a society, you pay less. So that's how that happened.
And the rest is history.
That's his history. Who else has been? Okay, wait. Christine, you wanted to share?
When I went, we went via the Grand Canyon and Sedona and all these incredible places just to spend time there and take pictures. And it was, I just have a whole boatload of photos I can work on any time. But it was, I think I volunteered the second time at the registration booth, and it was interesting meeting people and, meeting the people behind the scenes, plus meeting the people that were coming. It was just a very gregarious group.
Nice. And do you plan to go again?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. Who else has been that wants to share?
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
Well, one thing, maybe right now before people have to leave, you broke down the registration dates.
Okay.
Maybe you could just run through that again.
Okay, so basically the next IAPS convention, which is every 2 years, is June 11th, I believe, through the 16th. It's a Tuesday through Sunday. And if you go on the 11th and 12th are usually all-day workshops. So if you don't want to take all-day workshops, you can come on Wednesday night, which is usually the opening. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they have the shorter demos and workshops that you could maybe even take 3 a day if you wanted to. But where you get all the information is go to iapspastel.org. I can put that in the chat. It's IAPSPASTEL.org. And what you do is that's the IAPS website. You go under the Globe magazine. You'll see I have my website up here on my computer, on my big computer.
Linda is sharing her copy of the Globe.
Well, as poorly as I can.
You can actually order a printed copy of the Globe, or you can just read it for free digitally if you don't want to keep a copy. But basically, I hope I got the dates right. The registration is going to begin November 15th. So mark your calendars because it's a competitive timed registration. So IAPS is going to let us know what time, but on November 15th, you can register for the convention and you can get your banquet ticket for Saturday night. And it's important to get your banquet ticket when you register so that you can be there with all these other societies in this giant ballroom. And it's just so much excitement to see the winners of the show, to watch these artists get their master circle. And many of our Pastel Society of Southern California members have their master circle or their eminent pastelist. And you need 5 points to get a master circle and 15 points to get an eminent pastelist. So it takes years to get this. So it's a big deal when you do get it. And so that's November 15th. And then a week later on November 22nd, you will then register for the hotel. So there's 2 main hotels for the convention. They're right next door to each other, literally back to back. Hotel Albuquerque is where all the demos and workshops take place and all the activities. And you can stay in that hotel. And the next door hotel is Hotel Chaco, CHACO. So once you register on November 15th, you'll get a code from IAPS, and then you will call the hotels directly on November 22nd. You'll give them your code and you'll be able to register for a room. So then
Lynn, can I say one thing? There's also the Best Western, which is a block away. And I couldn't get into Hotel Albuquerque, and I called like right away. And that one was really great. And because it's a Best Western, it will pick you up at the hotel, the airport, bring you back take you to the airport. And they always had a shuttle going to the Albuquerque hotel once an hour. So that's
think
also a
Marty-
good thing.
Yeah, I think Marty has her hand raised.
Marty,
Right. No,
Marty?
Yeah, so it goes, it ends on, I was just looking at the schedule. It ends on Father's Day. The last day is on Father's Day. So I was trying to figure out it's a full day. It's a full day of all day workshops, 9 to 4.
But you don't have to stay on Sunday. Some people just go home. Some people don't take workshops all day Sunday. I've gone through Saturday night banquet and left on Sunday morning before. So there's so much of a menu that you can really tailor your experience the way you wish, right?
Uh-huh. I don't see the so the banquet is Saturday night. I'm not seeing that on there.
Hold on. The schedule, if you go to the Globe magazine, here's the schedule of events.
Oh, I just went to the IAPSPastel.org and
Yes.
schedule of activities, but that might be different.
The honors banquet says the climax of the convention Saturday night is the honors banquet. So that's always on
Saturday night. Okay.
yeah, 5:30.
But if you wanted to get home for Father's Day, you could leave Sunday morning. There's flights. The good news is
Yeah.
we're so close to Albuquerque. There's like tons of flights, and it takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours to fly there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand, France, they're a little more limited, but we have a lot of flexibility. I often just come in on Wednesday night, leave on Sunday morning. It depends, how much you want to spend on hotel, how many nights you want to be there. You could go from Tuesday morning or Monday night all the way through Sunday night if you want to. So that's
and when you pay for the convention, you pay extra for each of the workshops, right? They're not included, correct?
Right.
your registration fee, which you get a discount by being a member of a society, which you are.
Yeah.
And then you pay for each demo and each workshop separately, and then you pay for the banquet ticket. So when you register, you'll click on what you want to do, and then it'll give you a total.
Hmm.
That's how that works.
And they also had dinners, like you could pre-buy, the hotel was supplying dinners during the week
Correct. That
if
was
you wanted to, but that was separate.
yes. You could stay on the hotel property and eat like a barbecue dinner one night and another dinner another night, or you could go out to dinner. So you'll get that option to choose whether you want to pre-purchase those dinners. If you don't want to go out, you want to just stay on site, that's fine. So the registration this year is a little bit different than they've done in the past, and they're trying to avoid, the roadblock of everybody trying to register, get their hotel, get their classes all at once. That's what we used to do, all at once. This way, it's a 3-tiered, I held up 4 fingers. It's 3-tiered. November 15th, you register for the convention and the banquet. November 22nd, you get your hotel using your code. And then you don't register for your classes until January 15th. So you have a lot of time to look over the catalog, which is already in the Globe right now. The Globe magazine is the IAPS magazine that's published. It's right there. You can digitally flip through the pages right now on IAPSPastel.org. And you can look at all the instructors. Their pictures are there. The names of their classes and workshops are there. You're going to have lots of time to really, once you've registered, review what you want to take. And I encourage you to really think about, like, for example, last year, I wanted to work on edges. I felt like that was one of the things in Pastel that I really needed to push myself a little more, is managing my lost and found edges. Where do I want my sharper edges? All the different edges in my work. So I took a great workshop on how to handle edges. So think about what you need as an artist. What is your next step? And if you're a beginner, take everything. But if you're more advanced and you just want to like hone in on something that you need help with, that's the time to really look at all the offerings and decide what you want to take. So
And the hot tip too is you go through the globe and do what Lynn's saying and figure out exactly which classes and workshops you want to take. So the minute registration opens, you can nail all those things, boom, 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 because some of them go really fast. So just like
Also, I noticed, Chris, there's only 2 on Wednesday. Alan Picard's and Steffi Clark's.
What?
Yeah, there's
Well-
only 2 workshops on
They're all-
Wednesday.
Those are all day workshops.
yeah.
They'll probably have
No,
more.
there's on Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, I see what you say. Wednesday.
Yeah, so Tuesday and Wednesday look like
Wednesday, there's right now only two. You're correct. But Tuesday, there's like 6 of them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the other days are full.
But-
And I've already, it's funny, I've already taken lots of lessons from Alan Picard, and I attended Steffi Clark's last
I
year.
remember that.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was a great class.
I think they've changed things. It looks like now Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is all day workshops.
Yeah,
Where Thursday were demos that were shorter, but now it looks like Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday all day, and then
They were before that. Usually the workshops are all day.
okay, and then
Even
Friday,
on Sunday, there were 1-day workshops.
Sunday they're all day as well. So it looks like
Yeah.
Saturday are the shorter ones. Yeah, they've changed that a little bit up. They've listened to what members have said. So anyway, examine that. Take a look at it. Does anybody have a question about how to get to the Globe magazine right now?
no, but you can also look
I
at the
found-
schedule by going to the convention and then hitting schedule. You don't have to see the schedule through the Globe magazine.
Thank you, Marty.
It's a little easier to see it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask someone because I'm looking at it on my browser, and it's really truncated. It's like it does not grow large. So I have to look at it. I'm just wondering, does it expand beyond? Also, thanks for mentioning the Globe magazine, because I did not see it when I was on the page. I think the communication, the way this is laid out is really obscure. So just to let y'all know, as a graphic designer, this is really confusing.
Their
Wow.
website is a little bit of more intuitive work, but yeah, but it's there. You can go to the
Yeah, it's there. But on the other hand, I can't make mine larger than
Maureen, are you on a laptop?
no, I'm on my 24-inch monitor.
on the Globe, you mean?
Yeah, the globe is only like
Oh yeah, well, no. I
This is-
tried to enlarge mine too, but I do it on my laptop with my little touchpad, so.
yeah, it's
you know.
very weird.
Hold on.
Okay, well, no. Oh, click the icon at the lower right.
The
Oh, there
lower-
you go. Oh, there you go. Okay, never mind.
Okay, got it. Good.
It's still just a little goofy, but that's okay.
But you can.
So I was going to
Yeah,
say
I did
that
it.
I'm glad you figured. I sometimes trying to find those things. Margie and I last time had Desmond's workshop on Sunday, and we had to catch a flight. So
Oh.
we didn't complete it. We got most of it done. So, that happens too, so
You got to plan your flights around your workshops. I've also left on a Monday morning before because I didn't want that to happen, because that happened to me with Alan Picard the first time, where I was like, okay, bye, thanks for the critique at the door to the airport. So yeah. The other thing this Globe has is the winners of this web show. So you can look at, and I encourage you to enter if you feel you're ready to enter for the IAPS convention show. It's a brick and mortar show at the convention. Many of our members have been in it. It's a huge honor to get in, I'm telling you. And the deadline is February to enter that. And then it will be displayed during the IAPS convention. So take a look at that on their website as well. And don't miss that deadline if you want to enter. So, okay, what about, I want to hear from some of the people who've never been to IAPS. Who's never been and who's thinking about going? Wanda? After Wanda?
A list of questions. I
Yes.
almost went to the last one And I thought, oh, this is really cheap. It's less than $200, but I didn't realize that was not including any of the workshops. And then there was hotel, then there was travel, and so I didn't end up going. So this time I'm planning to go. Does one bring their spouse? And if they do, what do the spouses do?
Okay,
Is it worthwhile for them?
I can answer that. Many people do bring their spouses, and there's so much to do in Albuquerque. And I think you can also get a guest spouse pass for them to come to the social events. Did anybody else bring a spouse that did that? I can ask about that, but I'm pretty sure that can happen. And then also, if you want to share, well, if you bring your spouse, you wouldn't do this, but if you want to room with other people, if you're going by yourself, I've roomed with up to 2 other people before, and it really cuts the cost of your hotel room. So consider that. And we can start a thing at our meetings too, to see who wants to go and who needs a roommate, so we can coordinate that. Let me ask Lisa Rico if there's a guest.
Lynn, I solved the Tuesday thing. The Wednesday where it only has 2 workshops. That's the second day for a lot of the Tuesday workshops.
Oh, sneaky.
There's there's like 6 2-day workshops on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's
Done that before.
Right.
But they're only mentioned on the Tuesday schedule.
yes, they're not mentioned on the Wednesday part.
So you have to read the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm asking Lisa Rico, who's editor of the Globe right now, to answer your question, Wanda. She's on call for me. I'm going to text her and ask her, can the spouse attend the social events? Okay.
It seems like I've seen people bringing their spouses, like, and I've sat at tables where people had their spouses there. So yeah,
So-
there must be someone that they're
Yeah.
invited.
Or something, Chris. Yeah. Chris, you've been before, correct?
Yeah, I've gone 5 times.
What do you think? What's your favorite thing?
Meeting people, actually. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable, the people that you meet. And yeah, I enjoy also our conversations that we have, because we talk about our business, we talk about, well, even our techniques, but yeah, mostly it's a lot of camaraderie, but there's also a lot that you learn from just talking to other people. It is worth it. And as far as the candy shop, I mean, that's amazing, because a lot of the things that they have are things that I would normally use anyways, and they're discounted. So that's very appealing as well.
Some of them are free.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's that too.
Christine, tell how last time, because you were doing some traveling, you went up to Albert Handel's studio.
I did, yeah. So, yeah, and he's so gracious. I mean, I saw him in the hallway, and I started talking to him, and he said, "Well, why don't you come over to my studio if you're going to be in Santa Fe?" And I said, "Oh, okay." And yeah, going to his place was wonderful. I saw his studio, then he invited me in his house, and inside his house, he has an amazing collection of art. Yeah, so that was incredibly wonderful. So
Registration right there, right?
oh yeah, definitely, because he's kind of a legend. So that was great.
Like the grandfather of Pastel, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's so incredible. I mean, here I can be, sitting with people at dinner, that are people that I read about, it's really wonderful.
Goes with greatness, right?
Yes. And then you know what? And I hope it all rubs off,
So Chris, I remember when the first time I met you was at Hotel Chaco at the rooftop bar, and you had just gotten your master circle. And I said, "Oh, this woman just got her master circle medallion," and you had your gold medallion. It was like weighed a ton, like an Olympic gold medal.
I know. I think
The
they
bar
have
on top of there is amazing.
Gold.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have that medal in your studio there?
I sure do.
Wave that in front of the camera. Come on. Everyone needs to aspire to this.
Okay. I'm getting it.
While she's getting it, Wanda, the answer from Lisa is if they want to attend the banquet, a second ticket can be purchased. They get to come to Fiesta, opening night, all the breakfast. It's a companion ticket. And it's less than the full registration. It allows them to attend all the unticketed events. So yes, your spouse can take part in a lot of the activities. And they probably don't want to go to the pastel demos anyway if they're not a pastel artist. So, but they get to go to all the fun stuff. Good question. Did you have other questions, Wanda?
At the moment, I'll think about it and raise my hand.
Good. Okay, Chris, let's see that big hunk of gold.
Mm.
Can you see it?
Wow.
You raised
Get real close.
Okay.
that is easy. How long did that take you to earn?
Surprisingly, not that long. It was, it happened pretty quick because I think the first one I went to was in 2013 and I got it on, I think, 2019. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty quick.
You get a point, 1 point for every time you get accepted to the show, and then a point for an award as well.
Yeah, I think you get 2 points if you win an award.
So you got 1 point for getting in 2013.
Actually, in 2013, I won an award too. So yeah. So yeah, so that kind of at the time I didn't think I could ever, I mean, I thought it would take decades for me to get this. But yeah, it went surprisingly fast. I think too it was really a good it was the opportunity was there because I don't know that as many people were entering then. And so I think it wasn't, the competition wasn't as intense. I think now it's really intense with all the people from all these different countries who are entering.
Yeah, I think they get.
I also think it's easier to enter these shows now because you're doing everything online, where before you had to take a slide and send it off, and so the steps are a little simpler.
Yeah. And I think, way back in, early, 2010, 2011, people weren't even as comfortable about entering online. People weren't as comfortable working on computers, even though that wasn't even that long ago. Still, people were really apprehensive about doing that sort of thing.
And the other thing to note for these, either the web show, which just happened in the fall, or the brick and mortar show, which happens in the spring for IAPS, there's 2 divisions. So Chris, you're now in the Master Circle division. So you're
Right.
competing with other people that have already won their award. If
Uh-huh.
you have not reached your Master Circle, you're competing with everyone who's like us, beginners or intermediates or advanced. It's called the open division. So
Right.
you're not competing against the Master Circle, you're competing against other people in your peer group. So I encourage people to enter and try to get your points towards your medallion because it's exciting, right?
Oh yeah, it's a, wow, what a rush. I mean,
I know
that was incredible.
Joe Mancuso, Otto Sturka, Sally Strand. Who else has gotten theirs? Sally got her eminent pastel. That's a 15-pointer.
Yes.
Else in our society, a bunch of us have gotten.
I think Mary Aslan
Aslan, yes.
Yeah, Terry
And-
Ford did too.
and Terry Ford
Award.
and Marie Tippett. She's
Yeah,
got a million
exactly.
awards.
And Linda Moody. So there's a bunch of people in our society that have received the medallion after a lot of hard work, and kudos to you guys. Okay, what about some of the other people who have not gone? Are you considering going? Have we answered any of your questions, or can we answer more questions?
I have a question. Approximately how many people total attend this thing?
Well, it varies from, in the past, 600 to 800 people.
Yeah, 600 was what I was thinking.
Yeah, 600 to 800 people.
And I thought it was more than that, but last year I thought they said it was like 750.
Well,
Am I
maybe
wrong?
COVID had just
Ended. So, well, sort of, except for us.
somehow. I think it's going to continue to grow. I know
Oh,
my mom went to my mom and dad went to the very first one, which wasn't even in Albuquerque. It was somewhere else. And they're the ones that inspired me to go. And I've never missed one since I started going, and I don't plan on it. I don't plan on it. Super fun.
I remember my question. So for the registration for the workshops, is it like registering for Yosemite where you've got to be there, got your finger on the button, within 5 minutes, everything is gone?
It's great.
Okay.
I mean, that's why Chris had a great suggestion. Circle the classes you want to take or workshops or demos and have a secondary, like first choice, second choice, third choice in case one gets locked out. And don't discount the other ones. So everybody wants to take the popular people, right? Albert Handel or Liz Haywood Sullivan. But you know what? There's some amazing instructors. When I have not gotten my first choice and I got my third or fourth, I was blown away by the quality. They make sure that every single instructor is very well qualified, has an interesting topic. So it will not be a waste of your time if you don't get the very first one that you want.
The only one I had trouble with last year, my classes, I had no trouble getting all the classes I wanted. And it could be also because it was the end of COVID. So some people may not were coming. Getting in the hotel. I hadn't planned on staying at the Best Western. I was trying to get a hotel Albuquerque, and I don't think they mentioned Chaco. I don't remember, or it was more, Chaco's probably the most expensive of the 3 hotels. But
rate. You still get the rate. Oh, but I'm glad you brought that up, Linda, because you will have a place to stay. There's some amazing bed and breakfasts that are really like old town type places. There's Airbnbs, there's other hotels. So just because if you don't get in your hotel of choice, there's plenty of places to stay in Albuquerque. You just might have to Uber or get somebody to pick you up. I picked somebody up who was staying in an Airbnb last time and gave her a ride. Or you could rent a car. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it if you don't get the hotel you wish. So,
but yeah, I thought that I didn't want to go to the Best West. It was a block and a half away,
and it's less expensive.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. So, and it was full of everyone from the Pastel Society. So it wasn't like you're not, you're someplace all by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I had an amazing breakfast there.
Yeah. And it's kind of fun too. Even when you're at the Best Western, you can actually have breakfast with all these famous artists that
I know. You're right.
Because they act like a normal Best Western. You get your tickets and you can go down and get breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're at the Albuquerque hotel, you got to buy breakfast. I don't think they have. Am I correct, Lynn? They didn't have free breakfast there.
To buy it, yeah. So you got a continental breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it worthwhile right there.
Is that Best Western within walking distance?
Yeah, it's 2 blocks away.
Oh, okay.
It's a little further than that, isn't it, Linda?
Well, maybe 3. I mean, the only time it would be hard to walk there is if A, it was pouring, or B, it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Right.
But otherwise, I walked every day. So it was fine.
And you know what? I actually liked it because most of the day I was sitting anyways. And so I liked having a walk.
I drove from the Best Western when I had my equipment and just parked at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And don't forget, they have the shuttle. Right. The Best Western shuttled a lot of, you could get in the shuttle right at the lobby and it'll take you to the hotel.
Right.
So that was also an option.
Remembered also last convention 2 years ago, well, 1.5 now, they opened this brand new food warehouse extravaganza. Is it called?
Yeah, that place is really cool.
Walk across the street and there's like all these restaurants.
Sawmill.
It's a high-end food court.
Sawmill.
Yeah, it's
high-end
really nice.
Amazing. So we went out there to dinner and all that. If we didn't want to eat in the hotel, we just went over there and ate fabulous food. Okay.
Yeah, because I had been there because I was doing a show out there, so I knew about that. But yeah, so so that's right across the street.
Who else is thinking about going and is a little nervous about it or worried about it?
I have some questions, and I think Gloria has some questions too. Gloria's had her hand raised for a while.
I can't see that. Where? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hi. So the size of the classes, do you know what the size is? Well, you've been there. Size of classes are used typically. That was my one question. the other question, what is the jam session? That's on Thursday, 9 to 4 by Diana Sanford. And then the third question is, if you park in the parking of the hotel, do you have to pay for parking if you're not staying there?
Okay.
I think so.
Three questions.
Question, the size of the classes and workshops.
Mhm.
Workshops are smaller than the demos. The workshops, oh, maybe 20,
I would
25.
say about 20 people in the workshop.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
it
20.
has to be a small enough group for the instructor to be able to get around to everybody. The demos, I've been in demos from 15, 20 people to 100 people. But the great thing is, like Chris said, they have cameras set up so that even if you're sitting in the back, it's illuminated on a big screen so that everybody can see everything going on. So they have really upped their camera capabilities so that it's very clear. And yeah, anybody
Yeah.
else about
So
that?
actually, there's one other thing that was a little bit of a problem in one or some of the classes that I was in, the workshops, and that was the lighting. The lighting is terrible. So because they just have, regular fluorescent lights in there. So it's actually, if you are really bothered by that, it's really helpful to bring your own lights. You
Oh,
need the light.
workshop.
What
Like,
light,
so
what
true.
light would you recommend, Christine? Like what kind of light?
Oh gosh, I've got one of these. I don't even know what brand it is, but it just fits on my easel.
Yeah, boy, she's getting it. It's the normal, the workshops take place in the hotel conference rooms.
yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with.
Right.
I use a Trond light, TROND.
Yeah, I think it's a Tron light.
It has
It doesn't. I can't see any branding on it, but
clips onto your easel. Mine needs
Yeah.
to be plugged in, but there are some that are battery operated lights.
Called a Trond, Trond? Okay.
That one you have to plug in.
That one you have to plug in. Does anybody know a brand of one that's battery operated?
Let me check. I think I have one.
That's a good point, Chris. You're right. I was in a workshop with Stan Spurlack, and the lighting was really tough. So, and I did not bring my Tron light. So next time I will definitely do that. Good point.
Also, I found that I tried to grab a place by the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that really
If
helps.
there's windows, if you're in an interior room, there's no windows.
That's true.
This one clips on. It's a Vont, V-O-N-T.
Okay.
I have one of those. I like that one.
VONT?
V-O-N-T. And you just clip it on and you can change the light setting. See, it can get brighter.
And the nice thing about that, I use it at home too.
Okay, I was wondering, what I'm confused about is that the registration time, there's the 3 days. Will they all open, the registration, will it all open at the same time each time? So is it like 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or what is it?
7:30 to 5 each day. So no matter what day you come in, Tuesday.
You mean registration to sign up or registration at the hotel?
To sign up.
So the online sign up.
Oh, I thought you meant when you get to the convention. No, the online sign up is January 15th.
Yeah, I know, but the time is, I think it's like at noon Eastern time, so it's like 9 o'clock our time. Something like that. It's around that.
And we'll see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And same is true for the hotels probably, and the
Yeah, it's like any of those kind of online sign up things. They say they'll give you a time, and then they turn the switch on, and you try to sign up as quickly as you can. Gloria also had another question.
I just got the answer.
Oh, okay.
We go. The jam session is the title of Diane Sanford's class. So there's a description of her class in the Globe. I can look for it here.
I was trying to find it on my phone. So because it's a 2-day workshop.
Oh, here it goes. Diane saying she's right here.
Gloria, did you get your question about parking fees answered? I don't know. Did you get
I
that?
think Linda said you don't pay for parking,
That's right.
but that's if I'm not staying there. I was just curious because if
No.
I
It doesn't matter whether you're staying there or not.
Yeah, because I there was a woman, I forget her name. She was from Illinois and she drove a van, one of those RV vans, and we were at the hotel at the Best Western, and she would just drive over to the Albuquerque and just put it in the parking lot because it's not something with gates, or you're not going into a garage. It's a big open flat. I don't know about Chaco, but
it's not like here. It's not like here. Where you
No,
have to
it's not
pay
here.
$40 a day.
Yeah,
Right.
you're not paying like your left arm for a parking.
Grove, did you have to pay for parking, Chris?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I never paid for any
I
parking.
don't think you'd have to pay for parking at the hotels. Yeah.
There's a
Thanks.
description of every class if you go to iapspastel.org. Do you guys, if you go on that and go to
Yes.
IAPS Conventions 2024 convention and then go to classes,
Yeah.
it describes every single class.
Yeah. So the jam session is a 1-day workshop, and it's a playful interactive workshop, it says. Page 25 of the Globe. Okay.
I know that when I went to register and I got a live person online, then they asked me to hold. And I thought the line was dead, but they came back on. And they also said if you need to, you can put your phone on speaker and then run to it and say, yeah, I'm here. So anyhow,
I think
that worked for me because, I had to take care of the dog, had to find more coffee.
having this 3-tiered registration is really great. They've learned where things got jammed and people got stuck on hold. And I think this is a way of circumventing that, because, you have 700 people trying to do everything, get their hotel, get their classes all at once. So this way they're spreading it out. And I think it'll be more successful this year.
So one thing I noticed too is that even if you don't get into the class that you want to, if you show up, sometimes people will sell their class or else they can't go. So they just have the spot available. So there's that too.
Yeah,
That's
at the
the problem.
registration desk, they'll have a whole list of openings.
Yes. And a wait list. And a wait list also.
Yes.
And one IAPS that I went to, I was able to get a mentor. It was called Pro Art Critique. Desmond O'Hagan started this company called Pro Art Critique, and you could sign up for a 20-minute session with whoever your favorite instructor is, and you got a one-on-one personal time with that person. And I did it with Lorenzo Chavez, and it was amazing, where I brought my body of work that I wanted to share with him. He looked at it. We talked about business goals, marketing, it was a fabulous session. So I'm hoping they'll be doing that again. Called Pro Art Critique. And
The other thing I was gonna say, if you are going on a plane, train, or whatever, someone printed out like a board for me that I put on top of my pastel saying, do you remember that, Lynn? It was, these aren't toxic, but actually, because in the past people have been at the airport and they've taken, there we go.
A label.
A label. Yeah.
And I think it was either Jeannie Rosner Smith or Liz Hayward Sullivan who gave these out. But we can make some from PSSC and send it to everyone who's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's needed to keep them from opening up your pastels and making a mess.
Yes.
Going through, okay, when you're going.
Yeah.
I know with mine,
up like bullets.
Yeah, they look like bullets. So you have to, the label says these are art supplies,
They're non-toxic. And you don't want to put your pastels in your suitcase. You want to hand carry them on.
Yeah.
Put everything else in your suitcase, your easels, your
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no, and Albuquerque is so used to us doing this, they didn't pay any attention to it. It's like,
True.
oh, these might pass. Okay, fine. Because all of a
Exactly.
sudden 700 people are coming through with these boxes that say pastels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to say with Linda, we went to the gate and we sat and we watched our plane taking off. Do you remember that?
No.
We looked out
No.
the window. Yeah, yeah.
No, we got on our
Weren't
plane.
Yeah.
We didn't miss
Well,
a plane.
We just got on the plane then.
No.
I think so.
No.
We'll
No, it
talk
was
about
what's
this
her face
later.
was running to her flight. Well, we were chatting and then it was like, oh, we need to go. But
Right.
we didn't miss our flight.
I
Guys-
think Margie went to the convention in Taos. She never made it to Albuquerque, so she doesn't know what's going.
Right.
Or do we want to talk about signing up for your hotel room?
Signing up your what?
Margie went to the Albuquerque hotel and for some reason only made reservations for 2 nights.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's true.
So she ended up at the, she went hotel shopping. Who's
It
got a
is.
room?
Guys, one other thing I wanted to let you know about, and I just texted Lisa Rico to find out. There's an IAPS Facebook page. So I don't know if you guys are all on Facebook, but search for the IAPS Facebook page. And if you have questions, thoughts, anything, you can put it on there. And usually as they get closer to the convention, there's also a convention page where you can post pictures and, find roommates and find rides. So that all happens closer. But I think for right now, if you have questions, just go to the IAPS Facebook page and somebody will respond to your questions as well. And we know a lot about it too. So you can always just ask us, right?
Hey, Lynn, did you have a bunch of photos from the last show on your computer that you could show?
Not on this. I got a new laptop recently. It's not on here. You saw some of them on the MailChimp, right?
Yeah.
We had some great pictures. I think we posted them. If you scroll back through the Pastel Society of Southern California Facebook page, if you scroll to last, a June ago, you will see some wonderful pictures. So yeah, just scroll through the timeline and you can see some fun stuff. I just went to Party City and bought a bunch of Hollywood stuff when I got there. So we had, you saw on the MailChimp email, that was all of us standing there with our Hollywood stuff. We had little trophies, little Oscars. We had all kinds of fun stuff and everybody dressed up.
That was fun.
And
So
if
what do you
anyone's
want-
interested, there's 5,400 members to the IAPS Facebook page.
Oh, wow. Okay. Lisa just said we're doing away with the specific convention page because too many people got confused where to post. So one page, it's easier. At least we hope. So just go to the IAPS page. Okay, cool. Yeah, I used to be confused about that. So cool.
I have another question about the difference between workshops. There's just workshops and demos, right?
And some,
Okay.
yeah, they're
So
all
what do people feel like? Each just has their own value, or they've gotten a lot of value from going to the workshops? What are your experiences?
I like both also.
I mean, sometimes it's good to, just sit there and listen and watch someone work. I mean, the difference is like when we have our meetings, our quarterly meetings, and, like on the 11th, Christine is going to be doing a demo. Well, it's great. You watch someone demo, and then after lunch, you do the workshop. So they're each a different feel.
one's more interactive, right? Obviously, if you're in a workshop, the instructor is going to come help you with your work if you want it. Whereas a demo, you're just watching and asking questions, right?
Yeah.
And Christine, you have some spots available in your mini workshop, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure how many people have signed up, but I think you mentioned that there was what, 4 or 5 or something.
So we'll send out another reminder, but
Yeah.
for everybody to know, Christine is doing. You want to tell us about your workshop?
Well, I'm going to start off with a demo. I'm going to be, the theme is going to be horses in motion. I've been doing a lot of horse portraits, but I kind of like the idea of doing horses that are moving and doing something. And it's kind of nice too, to do ones where the horses, there's horse and rider too, because I like the whole, I don't know, the whole connection between horse and rider, person and animal that's going on there. But I'm looking through all my photos, and boy, I've got some good ones of real action type of pictures. So that's what I'm going to be showing. I'm going to show my process of how I start a piece and all the little things that I do to decide on which piece I'm going to work on. And then for the mini workshop part, what I thought I'd do is I'd open it up for people to either do one that's like a horse in motion, and I can actually provide some reference for it, or they can actually do something of their own choosing, whether it's one of their animals that they would like to do, or a pet portrait for, since Christmas is coming up, as a gift for someone. And because we have about 3 hours to work on it, I think we have enough time so that we could actually get to something that's pretty rough, but it'll still be something that you can actually work on at home and finish it up. So we'll get it so that it's in a condition or a state where it's almost done, but just sort of rough.
Wonderful.
That's the plan.
And it's a 40-day. So the demo at the meeting, November 11th from 11 to 12. We have our business meeting at 10. The demo with Chris is from 11 to 12. Then we have our holiday luncheon. And then if you're in the mini workshop, it's 1 to 4 and it's only $40. I mean, what a bargain is that to take a workshop with Christine?
I charge way more than that normally.
So this is one of your benefits of being a member of the Pastel Society, is you get to take these awesome workshops for, you know, minimal amount. So you can still register online for that. And we'll send a reminder also out in the next week. Okay, what else? Anybody else have questions about IAPS? What are you excited about? I'm super excited this year. I don't know why, just because we can all hug and dance and, you know, share and yeah.
So I got a question. What do we want to dress up as? Do we want to still do Hollywood for IAPS again?
Well, do you have an idea?
You know, Otto and I always want to be, you know, that nun, Sister Wendy.
Wendy.
Well, you know, I don't know if Pastel Society of the West Coast ever did it, but it'd be kind of fun to do sort of laid back California, i.e. almost like hippie sort of thing. That might be kind of fun.
Grateful Dead, kind of burning
Yeah,
the
Surfer dudes.
Yeah, I think I love that idea.
Oh, that would be super fun. Hippie. Yes.
I still have those clothes in my closet.
Well, you know, and all those clothes are coming back in style too, like bell bottoms and all that tie-dye.
Right.
jackets, you know.
Should do something different. We won first place. So if we do the same, it's going to look stale. So we need to up our game. I like it, Christine. What do you guys
Why
think?
do I picture Chris Stillions with a long wig and a headband? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's in my head.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
Otto used to have long hair. Otto had long hair. He was a hippie. So we could do a retro California.
I can have a doobie hanging out of my mouth.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's talk about this at the November 11th meeting. Let's come up with a plan and let's get people excited about it because
Get
it's
my flower shirt and my bell bottom cords out. You know?
Absolutely. If only I could fit in them though, huh?
Yeah. Oh God.
I love that idea. I love creative people. That's why we're all here, right? Yes, go ahead.
I have a question. I am way south of where you are. I live in North County, San Diego. And so just kind of wondered if there's anybody else that's part of the society that I can start connecting with to be able to either drive to the meetings together or go to some of these events where I'm going to do the Karen Margulis workshop, but I'm going to be probably driving 2.5 to 3 hours to get to the event because I'm not going to be able to use the HOV lanes, and that really speeds things up. So just kind of wondered if there's anyone in mind,
Hey, Deb.
so to speak.
Hey, Deb.
Yeah.
I can have,
I actually probably have room if you wanted to stay at my house. I'm in Long Beach, but I'm not going to it because I didn't get into it, but I didn't sign up in time.
I think she's talking about carpooling to our meetings, isn't that
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Oh, I
talking
thought you were talking about you're in the workshop,
that,
the
or even
Pastel
to go to
workshop.
IAPS. I just have, I'm so new. I'm like a couple months into this, and so I really don't know anyone.
Deb, you know what? We used to have at our meetings a sign up for carpools, and people could sign up from a certain area. We need to reinstate that, I think, Chris. We can talk about it at our board meeting this week, where people could say, I'm from such and such, and I would like a ride to share with somebody. And we do have people from San Diego because the San Diego Pastel Society folded a few years ago.
Yeah.
Membership, and so we do have several members.
I can talk to Joy Gonzalez, our membership chair, and I'll give her your name and she can look in our roster and try to see if she can find people that are in your area down there. And then she can contact them and if they're interested, they'll reach out to you and you guys can work something out.
Okay, she did give me the name of one person, but we haven't been able to connect.
Oh.
But I was thinking in terms of going to IAPS because you guys will probably fly out of LAX. I'm sorry, but I'm not driving to LAX to get on a plane. I'll just
Drive you, pick you up on because San Diego's on the way, isn't it? Or do you cut across? I don't know, Chris. Do you go through San Diego when you go?
No.
No,
I
but
everyone
goes to Albuquerque.
Carpool to the meetings. You're talking about IAPS. You were talking.
Well, either one. Like I said, I feel like I'm kind of hanging out here on my own, and it's a whole lot easier if you do carpool because you can use the HOV lanes, and it makes it easier to get around some of the slower areas.
Well, you bring up a great question. I think we just need to reinstate this program that we had before COVID. It kind of went away during COVID, but we had a kind of a carpool system set up so that you could connect with other people. And we also have a lot of new members from the Central Coast that are 3 hours away. There's 10 or 11 of our new members are from that area.
We can do that for both IAPS and our regular meeting. We can have a board where people can sign up if they want to hook up to carpool to IAPS or the meetings or anything. Yeah.
I'm up in NorCal, not quite the Golden Gate, but up in the Bay Area. If there's anybody up here, I'd be interested in knowing as well.
Okay, good. I think we need to go back to our map. Loopy talked about doing a map and putting all of our members. We now have the photo directory, fortunately, but Chris, does that have people's locations on it as well?
Yeah, well, if they gave it to me, some people gave me their full address, some people just gave the city, and whatnot.
Okay,
But
so if you look at the new photo directory, you might also scroll through and see who lists their city, find people there.
Okay. I didn't know about, I mean, I got it, but I didn't look that closely at all the information for everyone. So now I know.
I'll bet you there's some software or an app or something where if you enter a whole list of addresses in it, it'll populate a map with dots or something where everybody is.
I'm sure there is too.
That could be helpful.
Okay, bye, Marty. Okay, hope you guys do okay. We're thinking about you.
Thank you. We'll talk. I'll see you this weekend.
We'll see you Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Or Saturday.
Oh, and Lynn's gonna go by the church and get the boxes for you.
I'm gonna get that tomorrow for you.
Perfect. Okay. See you then.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's see. What else? So we've covered a lot about IAPS. Anything else anybody wants to say about IAPS or?
Yeah.
Juana?
One more question. Tell me about how you volunteer and the pros and cons of doing that.
It's on the application when you sign up. Do you want to volunteer? What do you like to do? I mean, there's a little place you can sign up.
Yeah,
and they'll reach out to you.
And yeah, and you don't have to, and no one says you have to do that. It's not mandatory. it, you know, and they have, what did they have, Lynn, like 4 or 5 different kind of groups or something?
Yeah, I've
Mhm.
done 8 meetings. This last one was the first time I ever volunteered because I didn't really have time before. So I purposely left some chunks of time in my schedule. So I volunteered in the gallery as a docent. There's the registration desk. There's working in the trade show at the IAPS booth, giving out Globe magazines, answering questions. There's the camera operators.
Oh, and there's the people who stand at the door to make sure that you're someone who signed up for the workshop.
There's just so many different jobs. And what you'll do is on registration, it'll say, would you like to volunteer? It'll list the jobs. And if you check one, then someone will contact you.
Yeah, actually, I
And I'll
highly
say,
recommend
I'll
it
do,
too.
you can also just say, I'll do anything you need if I can, you know, you can say that too.
I mean, it doesn't get you in the show or anything. Like if you're trying to get a painting in the show, it's not going to give you brownie points, but it is fun to volunteer. You meet a lot of people. You get to see some things for free that you don't have to pay for. And I really enjoyed it. I will try to always volunteer again.
Yeah.
You
I agree.
really have to do that your first, especially if it's your first meeting. You know, you're gonna have a lot going on the first meeting.
I did
So
it for the plein air convention when it was in San Francisco. And I
Nice.
only volunteered for one day. It was really fun because I was the door monitor for the Pastel stream. And so that was great, but I was exhausted by the end. It was like,
Okay.
it was a lot.
Oh, they don't make you work all day.
Oh, okay.
They had
No.
shifts,
Oh, good.
because all day is a bit much, I would say, but.
And then make sure you attend our dinner because we have our society dinner and we'll be sending information about that to everyone who registers. And Chris, I think at this November meeting, we probably should take a sign up sheet of people who are thinking of going at this point so that we can send information.
Okay.
And as people register, we can, at the next meeting in January, we can also continue that sign up. So everyone knows who's going and everybody can connect with each other.
Lynn,
One more thing about that volunteer thing, when you register for or sign up to volunteer, you can tell them what classes and workshops you're taking, so they'll work around your schedule. Yeah. They'll assign you to things that don't conflict with what else you want to do.
Good point. Susan, you have a question?
yeah, what is the average price for the workshops? Just so I have a idea.
This year,
I forget.
sure it's probably gone up because of inflation, but good
No.
question.
It wasn't that much. I was surprised.
Yeah, it's doable. I don't even see the prices here. I wonder if they're not going to give us prices until we actually register.
No,
Okay,
I saw prices because I looked, but I closed out that.
Oh, okay, you did see some.
Yeah, they weren't that expensive, but it's
But they add up.
probably like Christine, they give a discounted.
okay, that's just a question.
I'll look it up. I had it up and I can tell you if you really. So it's under the IAPS. And then I looked under classes and it shows like a 2-day workshop Tuesday with Liz Sullivan, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 to 12. It's $390, but that's like for
Okay.
2 days. One day, $390 for Aileen Ortman. $390 for Margaret Dreyer. Christopher is a 2-day from 9 to 12 for $196.
Okay, that's good.
Demos were more like 40,
Similar.
50, right? The demos were
I
more like
thought they were like 75, but I could be wrong.
Okay,
Yeah, the demo
last
price
year.
is in there too. You can find it. The demo prices are in here, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do workshops. So
okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so I mean it does add up, but it's only every 2 years. So what I try to do is sell a painting here and there and then put that money aside to go to IAPS.
well,
Because-
fortunately, I have relatives there, so I can save on the hotel cost.
Oh.
My husband's company's there, so he's there, my sisters are there, so it's okay. So I'm hopefully, it sounds exciting. I hope to be there.
Great.
Yeah,
I hope so too. It'll be
I mean, there's no reason I shouldn't go. It's,
And the
that's-
hotel is a big chunk of what you're paying.
exactly. So, yeah, I'm right there. I know the area, so
Sounds
Yeah.
great. Sounds
Yeah, I
fun.
have good friends in Corvallis, but I'm not driving that far every day.
Yeah.
Hey, there are a couple people like Dave Wolfram for one, who the first time he went, he just paid the registration fee and he didn't take a single thing, but he just took advantage of the vibe and
Great.
meeting people, but he didn't actually go to any demos or workshops. You
Yeah,
can absorb a lot.
I know. I think I can. It sounds really, really exciting. Very motivational.
I went from taking 3 things a day to taking 1 a day, and then volunteering, and then just using the rest of the time for connecting, and it was very valuable. So whatever your budget is, what I'm saying is you can either do it cheaply, or you
Mhm.
can do it like full Monty.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Can we stay with you too? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Actually, my sister has a big house all by herself, and you know, I'm sure she wouldn't mind. She's a photographer too, so she loves artists, and yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. So we've got 5 more minutes. So Chris, do you want to review what's coming up? We've got a paint out.
Yeah. We got Bernard, we've got a, oh, uh-oh, what happened?
You're there.
Wait, hang on a second. I lost something.
We see you.
Oh, there. Okay, here I'm back. I hit a button and my whole thing went away. Saturday morning paint out, San Pedro at the Cabrillo Beach. I believe that starts at 10 o'clock, I think, but I usually get there early to scout out and, you know, get set up. But anyway, our board meeting is Sunday at Lynn's house at 12 noon. And our meeting is November 11th at the church, starting at social hours at 9:30. Meeting starts at 10. Demos at 11 to 12. Our Christmas lunch is from 12 to 1, and the mini workshop with Christine is from 1 to 4. And then we're all going out and having a big party at the local bar, you know. No, just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I might be into that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then our next theme Thursday, Margie, what's our next theme Thursday? November?
Yeah, we have Steven Silver, I believe. That sounds right. Let me look.
And then are we going dark in December, or do we still have theme Thursday in December too? Maybe just one. We're gonna have a second.
I have to look at my schedule. Give me a second.
I'll be sending you guys emails about all that.
Okay, let's say calendar.
Margie's been working so hard to put all these theme Thursdays together. Every 2 weeks is a lot, Margie.
That's all good. Let's see.
Well, I think Margie will tell us at some point.
Yeah, really. Well, we have the Karen Margulis workshop on Tuesday, November 6th. And that's a 3-day deal.
And some of you signed up for that, you said, right? Yeah.
So are we not, is that a weekend we're not doing it because of the workshop? Is that
No,
one of the,
it's-
No, I don't think workshops during the day and theme Thursdays at night. So we're still doing theme Thursdays. But well, we'll just email you guys. Margie, you don't have to look for it right now. We know we have 2 in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it hits Thanksgiving, maybe we're only gonna have 1, but we'll send you guys an email about that. So anybody else have anything they want to say or end with? Okay, go ahead, Maureen.
I just had a question about Cabrillo Beach because I haven't been there that much. Is there like a parking area? I mean, I'm kind of debating. I've got my granddaughter's coming and whatever.
Yeah, there's parking there.
And is it obvious like where you all are because you have all your past stuff? You have all your stuff set up?
Yeah, well, I speaking not 100% because I've never gone down there. I've been down there, but it was a long time ago. But I think there's a parking area where everybody's gonna end up parking, and then just look for people setting up or hanging out with their painting stuff, you know? Oh, and if you want, you can call Bernard or me or somebody that's gonna be there and ask them, hey, where are you guys, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Bernard, if there's an email, when we send out the email, actually, you're getting a reminder tomorrow morning. I just set that up on MailChimp. It'll go out at 7 a.m. So you'll get a reminder tomorrow. And Bernard's email is in there, so you can email him and just let him know you're coming, and he'll watch for you.
Okay. I haven't decided. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so many things.
Even say maybe you're coming, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If my granddaughter wasn't coming, I definitely wouldn't be. I may definitely would, but I don't know.
We'll see how it
Bring
goes.
her along.
Bring your granddaughter with you, teach her how to paint.
That's a
I
good
don't want to
idea.
chase her the whole time.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 7. She's going to be 8. Not unless my husband wants to come and take her there. He might do that.
Nice.
That's an idea. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's a
Nice.
great idea.
Bring a picnic breakfast.
Yeah.
There's a little, I'm not 100% sure it's open, but there's actually a little marine mammal rescue place there that you can visit and see a bunch of sea lions and animals and stuff. That might be something you could look into that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
good, guys. This was a great night. And if you have any questions after this, you can always send us a little note through the website, or you've
Or
got our
just watch Margie scroll on her phone.
What's it?
Oh, good.
It's good to see and to be able to see everybody.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, you had surgery.
Yeah.
That's
No
right.
glasses.
Cataracts gone. No
All
glasses.
Right.
Not
See
blurs
all the
anymore.
IAPS. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna stop the recording now. So
All right. Thank you. This was great.
All righty. Bye, everybody. Woo.
Bye.
Bye.